12,157. The S&P 500 dropped fractionally to 41.54. New York oil fell $1.70, finishing at $79.16 a barrel. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm John Scott.
More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, Peanuts! Welcome to the Hey Peanuts Sports Show, a Wednesday night show that features the sports opinions of the fans sitting up in peanut heaven. This show airs Wednesday nights here on Beaver County Radio, and it is brought to you by TK Roofing Specialist in Elwood City. The phone lines are open at 724-843-1888 and 724-774-1888. Now, let's introduce your host for the show, Scott Kincaid and Bryan Pasquale.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Hey Peanut Sports Show, brought to you every Wednesday night, 6 to 7 at WNBA, WBVP 99.3. It's brought to you now by Tamco Building Supplies. We're so excited to bring them on board. And we're also glad to bring on Tony's Beer Distributor. It's in Elwood City. It's the drive-through type. It's so awesome. It's raining, snowing, it's windy. You don't want to get out of the car. Drive through Tony's. They have the best prices on six-packs, and they're always the coldest. So on to sports. I am so excited. I want to say right now, lay the Playboy centerfold, line the Parrot's cage with it. Raise the Jolly Roger.
Again.
Again.
And again and again, right?
I'm so excited. 88 is really looking good.
They're on pace for
I'm
104.
I'm going to remind you every week that 88 is the number, and once this goes bad, I'll start up.
I know. I was a negative Nancy for the past few weeks, so I'm looking like an idiot right now.
That's okay.
It's not the first, nor will be the last.
If you do history, you go back to last year, and guess what? You are looking like an idiot again, and then it just takes a matter of time. So I don't know if I'm on this false high. I feel like I'm on this false high, but I'm enjoying it, and it's great, and let's see how it goes. I'm seeing something different this year than I did last year. I'm seeing consistency, and I'm seeing young kids come up and make a move. I'm hoping that the continuity of what they've put together so far is being valued as, let's keep these guys together, and let's just don't sell them off like pawns in a chess match. To the next Mets or the next Dodgers who are struggling right now, who want to bring on some new talent. They see our talent and they know our guys weak to sell them. Well, and I just keep these guys together.
Well, I mean, you have a couple veterans too, with McCutchen, Carlos Santana, Rich Hill in there too. I think
there's your whole salary cap. They can't get rid of those guys. They're going to get rid of the guys that are on, like we said, league minimal.
Right. Yeah, I don't know about
let's
the league
keep
minimum.
those guys. I know I talk bad about Zawinski. That's my man. I just love this kid.
I mean, he's hitting home runs left and right.
Right. And I mean, everything's really going good. I don't Onel Cruz has not even missed. I know I miss him personally.
Right. They're 6-4 without him.
Yeah, but I mean, so that tells you if you're looking at like we were talking earlier, quality starts. We have quality starts coming in.
Right, 9 in a row.
And we have quality hitting.
Oh, my goodness. They're hitting.
It's unbelievable. And so I don't know how you can't be excited. You got to be excited about the Pirates right now.
McCutchen hit another home run. He's batting over 300, 4 home runs. I mean, what is he, like 28 these days?
So I am so excited I fell asleep in a nap, I'm that age. So they woke me up, and my daughter, who's 7, she says, "What did you just say?" And I had to answer. I woke up to, "Let's go Bucks." I said, "Let's go Bucks." I must have been dreaming that, and then I had to check my phone to make sure that I wasn't delirious. And we're way over 500.
Yep.
Now, granted, there are some teams ahead of us, but we are definitely relevant at the moment. We should be filling the seats. I know there's a lot of people out there that are like, I'm not going to give this guy any money. Support your team.
We'll see what happens when they come back home now. This road streak has been fantastic with them. And they're having fun. You talked about you're excited. They look like they're excited to me. Now, if you remember back in 2013, 2014, 2015, anytime a Pirates player would hit a double, a triple, a home run, or a key, maybe RBI single, they would hold up their hands with a Z for Zoltan. And I guess what happened was the 2000 movie Dude, Where's My Car with Ashton Kutcher and I don't know, William Scott. I can't remember his name. He was Stifler. Stifler. Right. And they were having a good time because they saw this movie, and there was this scene where these guys were in a cult and they had a bubble wrap suit, and every time they'd say Zoltan, which he was going to come, some alien was going to come and save them, they would hold up the Z. So the Pirates were having fun, and these days they have something new, and it's the Pirates sword. If you see it, if they hit a home run, they come in the dugout, and they're running through the dugout, and they gets handed an old pirate sword, and they're swinging the sword. And now, let's say they hit a double, hit an RBI, they're out on second base, and they draw their sword, and they do some sort of sword motion like they're actual pirates.
It's awesome. It's like watching Major League Baseball / Sandlot.
Yes.
These kids believe that they can win, and
they are winning.
They are winning. It's so exciting. And there's no money. There's no money. Like, and I hate this about professional sports, the money part. I just really don't like the money part because I'm on two sides of this coin. Help me out here, Brian.
Okay.
They all make too much money. Even the Pirates. There's a market value, and I understand that we should understand sports and there's a market value. But as a common person like you and I who work for a living and the common person out there, we all generally think they're playing a game, they're making way too much money.
Right. They're making $720,000, I think is the league minimum to go play a sport we loved to play as a kid.
And I think that this team is understanding that this is great. League minimum, I'm playing this game, we're going to win, and who cares? I made $725,000 this year, and I tell you what, I've been working in my roofing business for a long time, and I have yet to reach that plateau.
Right. Yeah. There's a little disconnect between the fan and the player, but they're having fun.
And where's the big money team winning right now? There's not really a whole lot of big money teams doing that great to constitute the amount of money.
Yeah, you got Atlanta, like Milwaukee, the
Atlanta's
Pirates,
doing good. They pay
Tampa
a lot
Bay.
of
Yeah,
money.
but I'm saying they're not.
Tampa Bay doesn't pay a lot, and they look like They look like the '95 Bulls. Is that what I got the year right? Do I got the year right?
No, they lost to Shaq. The '96 Bulls.
'96 Bulls.
That's when Rodman came to town.
The 72 win season, right? Is that what it was?
Correct. Yeah.
Yes. So they look that good. I did my research. Brian gave me homework.
Do you think Carmen Electra will be around then?
You got to check out these Tampa Bays. So I checked them out.
Okay.
All right. So they were the first team in Major League Baseball history to put an entire Latino team on the field.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that was kind of shocking to me that has happened because there's 175 Dominican players,
just
Dominican in the league. So we were discussing earlier, Latino is not a race,
right,
but we all know what we mean when we say Latino. That means you're Mexican, Venezuelan, Cuban. You speak Spanish, so
right.
You're Brazilian, what have you.
Well, Brazilian, they speak Portuguese.
Yes.
A little different. Fact check.
That is a fact. Yes. But there is a parts that speak, like even if you go to Rio de Janeiro, right? They don't speak Portuguese.
No, they do. They speak Portuguese. Portugal.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Sailed there in whatever it was, 1400, whatever. I don't know the history.
I'd be terrified if I go because I have broken Spanish knowledge. So I would probably go to Brazil and try to say hola, mi poquito español.
They probably laugh at us Americans anyway.
Yes. Well, why wouldn't they? They have the fastest man in the world.
So now, do they start that team consistently, or was that like a one-night thing?
Oh, that was the 13-0. They went 13-0 to start the season. They were one win away from setting the record.
They tied the record, correct?
They tied the record.
They have the American League record because I believe the 85 Oakland Athletics had the record prior to that, but I believe they tied the Major League Baseball record. And was it the Cardinals? I can't remember who they tied.
I didn't do that much research. I researched the Tampa Bay.
Okay.
So
Well, they're 16-3 now.
So I'm checking out all the stats of all these players. Now, the game I researched the most, they had 2 American baseball players.
Okay.
They were not bad. But if you go down their stats, especially offensively, it's consistent. And that's the key. And that's what the Pirates have right now, too, is some consistency from players that don't really get paid, but they're producing
Connor
200.
Joe, like where did he come from?
You got to have a batting average of 200 plus. If you have that, it's consistency, and it's great if you mix it around instead of just one guy and you hope he's on. If he's not on, you lost the game. We're hitting you from you don't know who's going to hit.
Well, the thing
And
was,
we've seen that all year. J1 Bay, home run, game-winning home run.
right, you know,
Kutch.
Rodolfo Castro is filling in for Cruz, and he's batting over 300. I mean, talk about the Mike Tomlin next man up. I mean, if you're batting 300, filling in for Cruz, that's fantastic. We have 4 guys batting over 300 this season already.
Yes. Tampa Bay has the same thing. They have
Yeah.
El Patron. You know who that is?
I do not.
Wander
Franco. Wander Franco.
Franco. Yes.
Wanda Franco.
Wander Franco. His nickname's El Patron. That just hit me funny because, I've dealt with, in the roofing business, I've had to learn a little Spanish,
Mm-hmm.
and they always called me El Patron, and I just like, what? That's my name. And then I had to look at, what is El Patron? Oh, it's the boss.
Oh,
So that was a great name. And then you look at his stats, and he looks solid. He looks Aaron Judge solid and not Aaron Judge money.
I don't think anybody has. Well, only a few players have Aaron
Well,
Judge money.
If you look at the history of Major League Baseball, El Patron will be playing for the Yankees at some point, or the Dodgers,
It's-
or somebody who has a lot of money. And then going back to the money thing.
Yes.
My issue with money is fan support. And so we have a reputation here in Pittsburgh of don't go, screw it. He's not going to spend the money. He's not going to do this. It's a big money sport. You know how much the prices of that we were discussing last week.
Yeah.
Ours are actually lower across the board.
Yeah, it's in the
You
bottom
go
tier
to the
for sure.
Yankees, you're spending $200 for 3-4 pops and some hot dogs. You're spending a lot of money going to the Yankee Stadium, which they could suck, and they would still fill the seats because they're faithful fans. So we need to stand up as Pittsburgh's fans. We need to be standing up right now as Pirates fans and going, hey, you know what? Who cares where the money goes? Let's go support it, because if he doesn't have the money, he's not going to spend the money. If we don't go to the game, we don't do these things and support him, then he's not going to spend the money.
So what do you think the reaction is going to be? Because we just had a fantastic road trip. Okay, we're 12-7. We're coming back home. What is it? We play the Reds 4 times, I believe. And do you think because they are contenders right now, or at least exciting to watch or in the mix, do you think that there will be a good turnout versus if they came back with 5 wins?
I do. I think they'll have a great turnout as long as this whole situation with Brian Reynolds stays where it's at and we keep him here. It's just like I said last week. I'm taking a warm shower. I'm taking a hot shower and a hot jacuzzi with a bunch of other young women. That's how I feel right now as a Pirates fan. And then they're just going to revoke my visa and my credit card when they sell Brian Reynolds, because that's my fear. They're going to get rid of him because we don't need him anymore. He's doing great. He did really great. He's responsible for 6 of those wins. And so, but he's not responsible for the last.
I don't
He
think if they're playing
contributed,
like
but
this.
he wasn't a superstar like Joe Connor. So we'll see how it goes. Keep the team together, Bob. Just keep the team together. Let these guys develop and bring you a championship. I think that we have a chance. Not to sound too much like, Jim Carrey.
You're telling me there's a chance.
That's right.
Well, they're exciting right now. I'm excited. I'm going to enjoy it while it lasts. Hopefully it lasts all season, but we'll find out.
Oh, we'll come back here. We're going to talk some more a little bit about Pirates baseball, and then we're going to get into all the sports that's going on. There's a lot of stuff that's going on. So once a week, we have to cram a bunch of stuff together. Tamco Building Supplies.
Lincoln Park Performing Arts Center in Midland presents the classic Golden Age musical An American in Paris, April 28th through May 7th. Sponsored by Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Tickets start at just $18 at LincolnParkArts.org.
Looking for Chrysler rebates and incentives? Check out these deals at the Beaver Valley Auto Mall in Monaca. If you're in need of tires, they have just what you need. Right now, till the end of April, for a limited time, buy 3 tires and get the 4th tire for just $1, available now on a special Chrysler program. That's 4 tires for the price of 3. Open a new Chrysler credit card. Earn a $100 statement credit on your first purchase, plus get 0% for purchases of $499 and up. The Beaver Valley Auto Mall and the Chrysler program want to help you get ready for the warmer weather driving ahead. Get your tires and save on a new Chrysler credit card. All available now at the Beaver Valley Auto Mall, your trusted source for exceptional vehicles at a great price. There are nearly 300 cars, trucks, and SUVs to look at, and most of which have the gas mileage estimates listed, so it's easy to choose which one will save you the most. Tire sale ends this month, so hurry to the Beaver Valley Auto Mall near the mall in Monaca.
If springtime at your house sounds more like a buzzsaw than a bird chirping, make sure the sweet music of a circular blade continues all the way until your project is done. Visit Freedom United Federal Credit Union today and apply for a home equity loan. Just like you don't want to let the bird feeder run out of seed, make sure you've got enough materials to keep your power tools humming too.
Why not let your home help with making sure the sawdust keeps flying all spring? 5-year home equity loans are available from just 5.49% with approved credit. After all, your home is the one getting the upgrade, right? Enjoy the sounds of spring at your house this year, whether it's a finch, robin, cardinal, or a cordless drill. Visit Freedom United Federal Credit Union, where the interest is in you. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Your success is our success. We belong to you.
Navigating healthcare can be overwhelming. Heritage Valley is changing that perspective. Our medical neighborhoods provide the personal care you need right where you live and work. Access specialty physicians, lab and diagnostic imaging, rehab, and more in the heart of your community. With 7 convenient locations, we have a medical neighborhood in yours. Heritage Valley, uniquely connected for life.
The best of Beaver County is easy to discover. It's right here on your radio. Tune in Beaver County Radio or watch the Best of Beaver County live on Facebook or YouTube video this and every Thursday from 11 to 11:30. The program is made possible by St. Barnabas. For over 3 years now, the show has been dedicated to shining light on the great things going on right here in your neighborhood and the people that are making it happen. This Thursday, enjoy conversation and insight from an intriguing lineup of guests who are creating excitement and having an impact right here in Beaver County. Your friends and neighbors at St. Barnabas are pleased to support the Best of Beaver County. The radio broadcast will also be replayed each week from 11:30 to noon on Sundays on Beaver County Radio. Archived Best of Beaver County videos can be viewed on the WBVP WMBA Facebook page. It's your chance to encounter the best of Beaver County with host Mike Romai this Thursday starting at 11. For more information, visit beavercountyradio.com.
You're listening to Beaver County Radio, 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls and 1460 WMBA Ambridge, broadcasting live from the St. Barnabas studios.
Hey, Peanuts!
Hey guys, welcome back to the Hey Peanut Sports Show, brought to you by Tamco Building Supplies. Also, we got a new sponsor, Tony's Beer Distributor in Elwood City, drive-through beer distributor. It's the best. They have more beer than East Germany selection. If that makes sense. Also, I want to mention the Just One More Sports Bar. They have the best grilled cheese. It's called a Supreme Grilled Cheese with ham.
Oh,
It's my
sounds
favorite.
delicious. I'm hungry now.
That's my favorite. And I've had a few other things there, and they're all great. Everything they have there is great. Wing nights tomorrow night, 42 flavors of wings. We talked about that. That's 11 more than Baskin Robbins.
Right.
I asked them about the ice cream flavor. They don't have that.
Maybe next week.
No, maybe next week. It's a little too weird, is what they told me. You don't put ice cream on chicken. We may be onto something. They put chicken on waffles. Anyhow, also I own TEK Roofing Specialists. It's 412-969-1167. We are proudly installing and certified with Tamco Building Supplies. Licensed and insured. Again, give us a call, 412-969-1167. And let's get back to baseball.
And the Pirates.
The Pirates. So we're heading into the Reds coming here, which we love them here. Cueto. We just
2013. That's 10 years ago. It doesn't seem like that long.
But that atmosphere is really nice. If you go down to PNC Park, go see us beat the Reds. We normally beat them. Even if we are not having a good year, we normally beat them at home. You know.
Well, they're
the
7-11
Great American
right now.
Park's another story. And it was early in the year. They had their little flash. It lasted 2 games. Now they're last place.
Yes.
I'm expecting us to take these guys.
We got a 4-game series starting tomorrow, 6:35. We got Contreras on the mound. What are we expecting to win? 3 out of 4 is the goal, I guess. I know you want to sweep. You want those 88 wins before like the All-Star break, right?
Well, I'm the worst. I'm the worst when it comes to this, because now I have expectations.
Right.
Your
hopes are high.
My fanhood is typical. So, yes, where we talked last week, if we win 2-2, it's a win because you're already above 500. So even if you split it, you're 14-9. You're still looking good at the end of the year. It's a long season phrase, which I hate at the early part of the year.
Yeah.
But if you're 2-2 in a series, and you win the 3-game series, you're going to be there in the end because the other team, the math just adds up to where you're going to be the guy. So I'm happy with 2-2, but I expect a sweep. I just expect it. I don't see anything from the Reds. I looked at them first, the first of the year, which was just a few weeks ago, but I looked at them and I look at them now. I don't see anything there that threatens us or scares us. We should be able to handle these guys. Should be able to take care of business.
They're another 100-loss team this year again. They were 100 losses last year. I don't see them improving. But those Pirates, I got to go 3-1. Have to go 3-1.
Have to go 3-1 against these guys.
Yes, correct.
Right. If anybody else, it may be different.
I mean, we've had 2 road sweeps in April.
What do the Cardinals have? Like 2 more wins than the Reds?
No, 1 more. I think
1 more.
The Reds are 7-11, Cardinals are 8-11. Now that I don't know if something happened this afternoon.
So why
that
is
I
your
missed,
expectations against the Cardinals okay with 2-2, but then the Reds is 3-1?
Because the Cardinals are always good. I don't know how. They could send out 9 guys that nobody knows, and they're still good.
No, this is a bad year for them. I've watched a few of their games, not just against us, but I saw some other games.
No Yadier Molina. That's tough. That's a tough loss.
Correct. And then they did, with Pujols, they brought him back last year like we're bringing back McCutch to bring some leadership, and now he's gone. There's no leadership in the thing except for Isringhausen, the pitcher, who, he's a great pitcher, but in the clubhouse, he has a reputation of being, not the friendliest or outspoken or sharing type of person.
So he's not bringing out his pirate sword?
He's not. Right. He's not. He's not trying to bring everybody together like the Sandlot. Convince the guy with the DH that, hey, you have the bat. You're the greatest power hitter in the history of the sport.
The DH is really helping a player like McCutchen. I think, that extra, what is it? What do we have? An extra 15 DHs now with the National League. That's 15 more careers that are going to last a couple more years. And I see McCutchen playing this year, and I hope to see him back at the Pirates next year, too.
He looks healthy.
He was out in right field. He tracked this one down in the gap, and I was just like, boy, does he look like he's about 25. He's
Yeah.
still got the legs. I mean, now, I don't know if he went into the dugout a little sore.
Close your eyes. Okay.
All right.
Seriously, close your eyes.
I don't
And
know if I like this.
Okay.
For those of you watching on Facebook Live, just keep an eye on Scott for me here.
Close your eyes and imagine the stats for Andrew McCutcheon right now were not his, and they were some rookie that just came up. And would he be the talk of the town? Would that rookie be the talk of the town?
For sure. For sure.
But because it's Andrew McCutcheon, it's not MVP numbers. Where are we at with it? No, he is crucial right now. It was a great move by the Pirates to bring him in. He has been productive,
right?
And he has obviously produced some kind of continuity where they're going to bring out the sword if they get hit, and they all seem like a team.
He's doing it on the field and in the dugout.
It's probably the best move they ever did, and I was kind of not for it at the beginning. I was like, what? Like, why would you take him back? That's not other than to fill the seats. But I mean, the Brewers didn't want him.
Oh.
You know, but I think the Brewers are now going, why did we let that guy go?
Well, we'll see. They're
I
in
think
first
they
place.
could have.
I don't know
I
if they're
think
worried
they
about
could
much yet.
I think he turned down a $2.5 or $3 million offer to stay one more year. That's what he turned down, and then he reached out to the Pirates, and just went straight. He didn't even call his agent. He went straight to.
Will that be the number one jersey
Ed Sheeran?
worn
Is
at the
that-
games
no.
for this series?
Who?
The 22. Will it be the number one jersey in the stands?
I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see.
All those
I tell you
Cruise
what.
jerseys got to be on the shelf for now, but I'm sure some of those will be there.
If he isn't already legend, because I mean, we have a lot of legends in baseball, but they go way back. Most of them past most of the people that are fans now's age. You know, as far as Willie Stargell, back when Barry Bonds was here.
I'm a huge Bonds fan. I know the press didn't like him, but one of my favorite players of all time.
Me too. Couldn't say. I mean, could not watch him.
You know what? That brings me into actually, it's a good segue right into what I wanted to talk about.
Oh, awesome.
There was a kid here, Brendan McKay. I guess he's a fine young gentleman at this point in time, but he was went to Blackhawk High School, graduated in 2014. There was a time where he had 72 1/3 consecutive scoreless inning streaks. He went to Louisville. He was freshman of the year, Gatorade freshman of the year, where he pitched and had a 1.77 ERA there, but also had over a 300 batting average. In 2017, Tampa Bay, which we were talking about earlier, drafted him 4th overall. He came up, and the reason I'm talking about him, not only because he was a local player, but he pitched and he hit. And he did both in their minor league system. He came up and he got called up by the Rays. He pitched, had some success. He batted, had some success, but in 2021 he had a surgery, and then 2022 he had Tommy John. So his story's still not completely written, which brings me into Ohtani and the subject I wanted to talk about. We were talking about legends. I think he's a living legend right now. He bats
Correct.
left, throws right, and in 2021 he had 46 home runs, and he had 156 strikeouts as a pitcher. In 2022, he had 34 home runs, and he had 219 strikeouts. I guess everybody brings up Babe Ruth and the Ohtani debate. I don't know if that's a debate yet.
I don't think so.
No?
I think there's just too much time in between there.
There's a couple of years.
You just can't. I mean,
But a player being able to do
did
both
Babe
was the
Ruth have a
point.
dietitian?
Yeah, he drank beer and drove his car around.
No, he didn't hire somebody to make sure he ate right. He had a seafood diet. He saw food and he ate it.
Right.
Where Ohtani probably pays some guy $20,000 a year to make sure he's
I'm
eating
sure more
the
than
right
that.
thing. Right.
Right.
So I mean, it's kind of hard to compare the two. But when you're talking about baseball, the reason why there's a comparison is because Babe Ruth was a pitcher first.
Right, with the Red Sox.
Right.
He
And
batted
then-
some.
And then he got caught sticking his tongue out, throwing a curveball. And then they traded him to the Yankees in the curse. And
Right.
then he became a great hitter.
Right. His first 2 years with the Yankees, he had 113 home runs in 2 years. So he went from a pitcher that could hit to, well, arguably the greatest hitter of all time, basically.
And I'm a big Babe Ruth fan. So you've watched
John Goodman?
No.
That's all I know about Babe Ruth.
I refer to movies a lot. I apologize, audience. But the Adam Sandler movie was a football player, the Water Boy.
Okay.
So this is a true fact. The batting coach for the Yankees when Babe Ruth was batting was said every time they throw a pitch, you hit that like you're hitting the owner of the Boston Red Sox owner in the face with the bat. And he turned that rage just like the movie.
I see. But it wasn't.
But it really wasn't funny back then, and it really wasn't talked about. But the story later in Babe Ruth was that he was taught to take out his. He didn't want to leave Boston. They traded him. He had no intentions of leaving, and it wasn't his decision to go. So he just got traded, and he shipped off to New York, and turned out to be probably the best thing for his career.
Right.
Because he would have not probably ever been a great bat in Boston. They were trying to pitch him.
Right.
So there's a little different story here with Ohtani. Ohtani is like, you remember when you were playing in school, because I played baseball. You played baseball when you were younger.
Yes.
Correct. You were a great baseball player, I'm sure.
I was
very
okay locally.
Well, that's what we're talking about, locally. But you could always tell there was always one guy in the league who could pitch, and that guy that could pitch real good always could hit real good.
Oh yeah, my shortstop on my team. He was fantastic. Right. Chad Riddle. He actually went on to golf though, and had a great golf career.
So since we're on this kind of interchanging player, what do you know about Nate Eaton?
Nothing.
So he plays for the Kansas City Royals.
Okay.
Position player. Plays shortstop. Because remember when I was talking at the very beginning, before the season started, they're going to run out of pitchers. You can't just pull a guy.
Right.
Going to run out of this.
Right.
The Kansas City Royals, even though they were losing 11-2 or whatever it was, they brought this Nate Eaton guy in
to just pitch some innings, to just save the bullpen.
They call it a position pitcher.
Okay.
And you've seen it a few times. It's kind of funny. You can see some funny stuff about it. This guy's throwing. He only pitched 2 innings. His fastballs were 95, 94, 93. His curveballs were 89, 88, 87.
And he plays shortstop? Do you
because he didn't, you have to decide. You just have to decide as a young player going to the major league, you're going to be a pitcher, you're going to be a field player, you're going to be a hitter. And then Ohtani somehow broke this mold and said, you know what, I can hit the ball.
Right. He's the most fascinating player to me just because he can do both. Now, I remember watching the 30 for 30 with Bo Jackson, and I know that has to do with football and baseball. And they were saying that, will there be
all, didn't he? He played basketball.
Well, professionally, he played, Major League Baseball and NFL. And they asked him, will there be another 2-sport guy? And he says no, because what they're doing now is the kids are getting specialized.
Correct.
They see a talent. You're either going to be a jump shooter in basketball, you're going to be a pitcher in baseball, you're going to be this, you're going to be that. You're not going to be just the best athlete in your city or state, and then whatever turns out. So I don't know if there will be more if Ohtani's breaking the mold, or if Ohtani's just a once-in-my-lifetime type of player.
I think it's more of a sign of things to come.
I hope so.
I think so. The game's changing. It's faster.
Oh, the pace is great. I mean,
there's
a rhythm
around it.
Yep.
So, again, we're going to go back to this money thing and fanhood. Go see your team. Go see the Pirates play, because it's an enjoyable game to watch. You're not stuck there forever.
There's beautiful weather coming up.
Right. And there's always a chance they can win, even if you're
Unless
down 3 runs. Well, no.
They didn't even score when you went.
That wasn't my jinx. That was my buddy's jinx. I don't have a jinx. Most of the times I go, they win. So I'm a Pirates fan, big time. I need one of those hats. I used to have one, the painter's hat from the 70s.
The painter's hat?
Well, it's, it looks like you're a pencil eraser with some yellow.
Oh, with the
lines.
stripes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are great hats.
Yeah. I had one.
I think
when
Steve
was
Blass wore
younger.
that.
They're hard to find. I'm sure Amazon has it, but, the heck with Jeff Bezos. Hey, get down to Just One More Sports Bar. Get you Get you a sandwich today. Go get some wings tomorrow. They have some live entertainment this weekend on Saturday. And we'll be right back. We're going to talk a little bit more about sports. Thanks.
Welcome to the future of tough. Welcome to Moon Township Ford. Discover the difference. Moon Township Ford has F-150s in stock for immediate delivery, special APR as low as 0%, and an additional $1,000 rebate on the XLT trim. Plus, Moon Township Ford is paying top dollar for trade-ins. This is the truck you've always trusted, built like never before, the Ford F-150. Falcone's Moon Township Ford knows that the only vehicle that matters is the one you're interested in. It's true. It doesn't matter how big the dealership is or how many years they've been in business if you can't find the right car for your budget. That's why Falcone's Moon Township Ford goes the extra mile to help make the perfect match for you and your pocketbook. Purchase an F-150 truck while the selection is great and the financing is even better. Welcome to the future of tough, conveniently located on University Boulevard.
Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
Subject to approved credit. Must finance with Ford Motor Credit to take advantage of special APR and rebate. Offer not valid on Tremor and Raptor trims.
After a 3-year hiatus, the 43rd annual Beaver County Maple Syrup and Music Festival is back and better than ever. It's all happening on Saturday and Sunday, April the 22nd and 23rd at the Lodge in Brady's Run Park, just off Route 51 in Brayton Township. While the star of the show is the scrumptious Pennsylvania maple syrup drizzled over all-you-can-eat homemade pancakes, there will also be live music with numerous crafters and vendors. New this year is gluten-free pancakes. Tickets, including made-from-scratch pancakes and sausage, are just $15 for adults, $10 for kids under 12, and seniors, military, and first responders is just $12. There will also be Pennsylvania 100% pure maple syrup for sale, along with buckwheat and cornmeal flour. The 43rd annual Beaver County Maple Syrup Festival is being presented by Push Beaver County. Make sure you plan to come out to the 43rd annual Beaver County Maple Syrup Festival from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Saturday and Sunday, April 22nd and 23rd at the Lodge in Brady's Run Park. Check out the festival Facebook page for a schedule of events.
Ever been sitting minding your own business and suddenly discovered that the world is spinning rapidly of its own volition? It can be very frightening. Vertigo, or the illusion of motion, isn't just a sensation you get when you peer off a tall building. It's a problem in the body's internal balancing system, creating the sensation that you're moving even when you're not. And you're not the only one who has it. It happens to more people than you realize. Treatment of this condition needs to be seen by a professional. It's time to call Dale Reckless at MRS Physical Therapy. Chronic cases of vertigo can persist for days or even years. Choose MRS Physical Therapy to help you now. You don't have to live with vertigo. Call Dale Reckless at MRS Physical Therapy in Bridgewater and Cranberry. Visit mrsphysicaltherapy.com.
It started with a road trip into the American Midwest. Huntington bankers with one mission, to understand how people made sense of money. And that's how we met Jason.
How do I save money? Jars. Whatever loose cash I have at the end of the day goes into the concert tickets jar, the vacation jar, you get it.
And that's how we came up with personalized goals for your savings accounts. Our customers give us the best ideas. Huntington, welcome. Member FDIC. Learn more at huntington.com.
Beaver County Radio wants to pay tribute to our veterans on Memorial Day that have passed away. We are asking anyone who would like to pay tribute to a veteran that died in the line of duty or any veteran who has passed away to email a picture along with their name, years of service, and what year they passed away to fsparks@beavercountyradio.com. On Memorial Day during live mic and teleforum, we will periodically read the names of those veterans on the air to honor them. Beaver County Radio's Memorial Day tribute to our veterans is being brought to you by Al's Corner, Town Square Restaurant, Slurp and Burp Boba Tea, CJ Rombold Engine Builders, Vintage Torque, Spratt's Funeral Home in Beaver Falls, Firehouse Subs, the Henderson Agency, Friendly Federal Credit Union, and Beaver County Radio.
It's the diamond anniversary year of Beaver County Radio, and it's bigger and better than ever. We're now part of the St. Barnabas Radio Network. and simulcasting on 4 radio stations and online at beavercountyradio.com.
Hey, Peanuts!
Hey guys, welcome back. The Hey Peanut Sports Show brought to you by Tamco Building Supplies, Tony's Beer Distributor, drive-through beer distributor in Elwood City. Just One More Sports Bar, best grilled cheese sandwich, supreme grilled cheese, man.
It is delicious.
And then TEK Roofing Specialist, 412-969-1167. And I got to mention the Fox Run Golf Course. I was out there today with my kid. Got to play 9 holes this afternoon. It was such a
How'd you hit 'em?
beautiful day. So we practice.
You practice, okay.
We practice. So I would say I had at least 2 shots every hole that were.
That's all you can ask for at this
great.
point in the season. Yeah.
And then
It's early.
1 bad shot every hole, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm a bogey golfer.
Right.
This time of year. Ask me again in September.
You're a
and
double bogey
I'm going to be
golfer.
bragging about shooting an 82. You
Hey,
know.
that's fantastic golf.
That's me being on.
What's the
Hopefully
statistic?
it's better. I'm going to get some more drive. I'm going to get a better drive.
Like most people can't shoot under 100. Like almost everyone. So an 82 is fantastic. An 80,
correct.
a 90 is fantastic.
Yeah, I shot par once, and apparently that's only 8% of the people. On the
Par
planet
threes
can
don't
do that.
count.
No, this wasn't a par 3.
Putt.
I Fox Run. Shot par.
Oh,
Fox
nice.
Run one time.
Nice. Maybe you'll invite me out to Fox Run one of these days.
Oh, wait. I have to be totally honest. From the red tees, I was playing with my son.
Oh, that's fine.
Right.
So maybe I'll get to play there one of these days.
I told him I'd play with him from the reds until I could beat the reds. I shot a par.
Yeah, that's fair.
Didn't beat him.
How old
you
is
don't
he?
beat him. You got to be under to beat him. I didn't understand that, so I started to play from the reds, so I beat him, and then I can go to the yellows, which is basically the reds.
So you go from the women to
Then
the
to the
seniors to the whites, then to the blues, and then isn't there black?
Oh,
I think some
not
courts
at
have
Fox
some
Run.
black.
Yeah, I don't know. Fox Run is not like that.
Okay.
Tournament positions for guys that have those extra distance that we don't have. The ball.
I can hit the ball a
drawback
ton.
ball.
You play
I
with
know.
me.
I
You see
play
me
with
hit
you.
it a ton.
Yeah.
I can't chip and putt, but I can hit it a ton and straight.
You had your clubs that day. I did not have my clubs, so I don't want to hear it. Until we go play again, you can't judge my game. Not
All
on
right.
the radio.
Fair
for
enough.
sure.
Fair enough.
Right. You saw me at the simulator. You were like 250 down the middle straight. You can't beat that.
Yeah. We won't mention that.
I did that on my birthday.
Nice. Yeah.
You remember that?
What'd you turn? 60? Was it your 60th?
No, that was my 52nd.
Uh-huh.
That was 2 birthdays ago.
It was.
All right, so we're gonna get away from the Pirates here a little bit, and we can't not talk about, even though the season's over, we have to talk about the Penguins because you predicted something last week.
Yeah.
And
What
oh
did
my goodness, you were right.
I was.
You were
First
correct.
time all year.
It's-
Shot it down.
Right. We're a new show, but I really believe these organizations are listening to us because you said you should fire him by Saturday.
Right.
And, oh, my God. He was fired on Friday.
Ron
and
Hextall.
a
Gone.
couple other people with him.
Yeah. The assistant, Burke, everybody gone. The question now is, I mean,
Is this a positive move for the Penguins, or is this like kind of
Yes.
like them saying to their fans, yeah, it's over?
no, they said we totally messed up. Bear with us because he left a complete mess. I have no idea how the new GM is going to take care of anything. It's a disaster.
Word on the streets, Mario is going to come back from his 1-year hiatus and try to pitch in. That's what it said.
What street? Did you ask Batman out in Beaver Falls?
No, I don't know what I watched.
Well,
I
you said
watched
out
my
on the
phone.
streets.
I
I didn't know if
watched
that's
my
who told you.
Well, I'm on the phone, and so I really don't. I just read articles.
I have two
Could have been
ideas.
fake news. You don't think Mario would come back and help out?
No.
He has no, like, you think he's done. Like,
Yeah.
hey, yeah, it's great. I was a Penguin, but I have no desire to
He
come
sold
back and whatever.
I think, I think he's still a minority owner.
Yeah, he has some invested interest, but
Right.
correct.
So what's your future? What do you think?
Well-
They're gonna get some more people?
I think they should get the Toronto Maple Leafs GM.
Dubas.
Yes. That's who I'd love to see them get. He's like just young, knows everything. He wants out of Toronto. I don't know what the
Healthcare
contract
system.
situation.
It's a healthcare system.
It could be. It could be. And you know who else, Matt, that I think I hate bringing people back that were here before, but what about Ray Shiro?
I've heard a few names bring up Ray Shiro.
Okay.
I wouldn't be opposed to it, but at the same time, it does feel a little retready.
Right.
I mean, he was good for when he was here. There's no question about
clearly.
that. And that's a good question. Who would I take in between those two? I guess I would take Dubas, but I don't know. The issue with Dubas is just the pedigree from where he comes from. Because yes, from a tactical perspective, general manager wise, he's very good.
Right.
But his team has had the same problem the Penguins have had for the last several years. They can't get past the first round.
Right.
So do you want that pedigree to come to Pittsburgh, and is anything going to change?
Well, you definitely need somebody with a pedigree, because I don't think you can have a GM come in and tell this coach and this roster what to do unless you have some sort of pedigree. You can't just have some new up-and-comer come in and tell Crosby, hey, this is the way we're going to play. This is what we're going to do. This is who we're going to have.
Well, it's not Crosby you have to worry about. You cleaned house as the Penguins. You cleaned house, but you didn't clean everybody. Mike Sullivan's still there, right? So Sullivan's still there.
How many more years is Sullivan locked in?
I want to say 2 more.
Whoever you hire, you have to be conscious about what he wants, or otherwise, why'd you keep him?
Well,
if you're not going to start all the way from the top to the bottom. So, I mean, but he's as far as the people that are on the payroll right now on contract, he's the highest guy outside of ownership, because everybody else above him's gone. Correct?
Yes.
Okay, so if you didn't get rid of him, you're asking him, who do you want us to hire? And it better coincide with who he likes, or otherwise you're going to create this, nothing's going to change. Because he, apparently, why he didn't get fired was because he said, I didn't agree with these things, Hextall, these decisions he made, but I went along anyway.
But he also has a contract through, what was it, Matt?
How is he not held accountable for the same decisions that Hextall made? How is he not held accountable and he gets to keep his job? And if that's the case, he did get to keep his job, because he did. So how in the world are you not, as an owner, going, okay, I want to know what this guy wants as a GM. Let's work around him. We kept him for a reason.
Because of his contract.
But he had to sell a good story. You could get rid of that contract. It doesn't.
No.
Does that contract go against the salary cap?
No,
I've
but
always
you have to
wanted
pay
it
him.
coaches.
Yeah. I mean, it could really boil down to this when it comes to, because we're talking about pedigree. Mike Sullivan's won 2 Stanley Cups with the Penguins.
Correct.
Ron Hextall didn't.
Right.
End of story.
Yeah, that clears that up real quick.
So then this really gets back to my original point then. Doesn't matter what we think. It matters what Mike Sullivan thinks. Who he wants. They're not just going to not listen to him. They're going to ask him, who do you want to work with? Who do you think would be a good GM to work with you to get us where we want to be?
I'm sure they'll consult him, but I don't think his say goes anywhere. He's just a coach.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of they'll ask him, it's like, well, what do you think? And then they'll think about it.
And then they'll do whatever they want.
Yeah.
If what he thinks is what they're thinking, then they'll go with it. Otherwise, I think they can go however they want.
Doesn't he get the free pass then, doesn't he?
I just think in his contract,
He just totally gets a free pass for anything that happened over the last year. He just blamed, those were the Hextall years. It wasn't my fault. It was the GM's fault. And so if you give me a good GM, then we'll see what happens. So I guess, to me, the jury's out on Sullivan. I don't care who you bring in.
Well, I think they're going to give him another year.
The coach is more important than you're giving him credit for. If you're not bringing in a GM that wants to work with, that he wants to work with. I mean, it'd be like Michael Jordan. He quit because coach left, right?
As good as they are, I don't think he's Michael Jordan though. 2 cups isn't 6 NBA championships.
True. But you know what I'm saying, that you have to have some kind of...
Well, I guess that's up to ownership. They could bring in somebody that wants to work with the team that we have and the coach that we have, or they could bring in somebody that just wants to say, I need 2 years to fix all this, and I'm going to do whatever I want. It's up to the ownership.
I wouldn't be surprised if some guy comes out of nowhere that you've never heard of, because Mike Sullivan wants this guy. He's cheap. I want this guy because he'll do what I tell him to do, because that was the problem. Reason why Hextall, you didn't do otherwise. If Hextall did everything Mike Sullivan wanted him to do, then Mike Sullivan should have got fired. So otherwise, he kept his job. So he must have been saying, "Hey, you know what?
Let me ask you a question.
You know, you understand where I'm going. Otherwise, so there's no communication between the general manager and the coach of a professional team. And I think if that's the case, there's your problem.
Let me ask you a question. You're in roofing, right? So you have the front of the house you have to tear off, and the back of the house you have to tear off, and you have to get it reshingled, and they're calling for rain, okay? And you're like, hey, let's tear the front of the house off, okay? And get that reshingled because it might rain, and we don't want to tear off both sides, and then they have problems.
Correct.
Okay. Then one of your employees comes up and says, let's tear everything off, and that's you got to understand the chain of command here. There's the
but
owner.
they didn't come up to me. They just did it. I've had that happen, and I'm there at 9:00 at night trying to beat the rain.
Right. The ownership, then the general manager, then the coach, not the other way around.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens with that.
I think there's great minds with all this money. There should be some great minds that are thinking like I'm thinking, like, hey, we should get a guy that works well with this guy because we kept this guy.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that.
Let's get a guy that's willing to work with, borderline retired hockey superstars that are just trying to win one more. And how do we facilitate that? I think you got to break that 3-line up, and you got to give each guy. This is just my opinion, and I'm not a big hockey genius, but there's 3 lines, right? Correct? So we got 3 guys on the 3 lines, or 3 guys on one. The third line was the great line this year. It was Letang, it was Crosby, and it was Malkin, right? Give them nope. You got a Letang line, you got a Malkin line, you got a Crosby line, and feed each line a younger, faster. Like you get each line has a fast guy and a big bully guy, and just split them up. You don't put all 3 of these old guys on this. Even though they're great on that third line, you're putting all your young people on another line that don't have any kind of leadership or they're not learning anything.
You're kind of stuck with what you have because of the contracts, and they don't have much in their system because they've tried to win for how many? I mean, the last 15 years they've tried to win every year versus just pumping young players. And you can't just go out and get young people. Usually, older people are what's available in free agency. So I don't know how you fix this. I don't see it as a 1-year fix. I see it as a multiple-year fix, and it's a mess.
I say if next year they put these 3 guys on the same line,
they don't play the same line. None of them play the same line. No.
That was the third line this last year. At the end of the year, that was the third line. It was Letang, Malkin, and Crosby.
That's not
no. They play on the power play together.
Yeah, they're on the power play together. That's it.
Yeah, Malkin and Crosby are both centers. Letang's a defenseman.
Right. So
Letang's in with pretty much everybody. Crosby's separate from Malkin, but they all play the power play together.
Yeah, they would not be on the same line together unless they got really desperate in a game and they were like down with like.
They have put Malkin with Crosby, but I think that's been years and years and years ago. And it wasn't the whole night. It was like a shift or two because, like you said, they might be down a couple goals and they need to get back in the game.
My memory of them winning against the Red Wings way back was Crosby and Malkin on the same line.
What was that? 08, 09?
Yeah, 2009 is when they won.
Right, 08 they arrived
dynamic.
early.
They were
I didn't
dynamic.
think they would make it to the finals.
Yeah,
it was a big deal. Or what? The Red Wings were hot back then, and we beat them.
Yeah. That was the dynasty.
They were
Red Wings dynasty.
Right, they took them down. They did. Did they do it 2 years in a row?
No, they played them 2 years in a row, but lost the first and then
won the second one.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
I had just moved up here. That's how long I've been up here. I remember that.
So we'll see what we'll follow. We'll follow the Ron Hextall replacement for the next, I guess, the rest of the summer.
Are we done with the show already?
We are.
That's terrible. I want another hour. I feel like I can talk to you all night. And I hope you guys are enjoying the talk, and I hope you wish you had more. Because maybe we do 2 hours coming down the road.
Hopefully.
Hey Peanuts Sports Show. We're brought to you by Tamco Roofing Supplies or Building Supplies. Tony's Beer Distributor. Drive-through beer in Elwood City. If you're in Elwood City, just drive through, get you a 6-pack. Just One More Sports Bar. Right here in Beaver Falls. They have the best food. 42 flavors and wings tomorrow night. TEK Roofing Specialist, 412-969-1167. And get a chance in this nice weather. Get out to Fox Run Golf Course. It's very affordable. I think it's $20 with a cart for 9 holes. That's usually all any of us old regular guys can handle. And thanks again for tuning in. I can't wait to see you guys next week.
You're listening to 95.7 FM, 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas, in addition to 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls and 1460 WMBA Ambridge.
Democrats for refusing to negotiate.
When President